Mary Mullaney, nicknamed Pink, died in 2013. I never heard of her before, and you probably haven't either. Her family wrote her obituary, recalling her words as well as her actions, the way she lived. She was a devout Catholic and mother of 6 and grandmother of 17. These were some of the observations of her life. Let a dog, or 2 or 3, share your bed. Pray the rosary while you walk them. Go to church with a chicken sandwich in your purse. Give away the chicken sandwich after church to a homeless friend. Go to a nursing home and kiss everyone. Invite new friends to Thanksgiving dinner. Correspond with the imprisoned and have lunch with a cognitively challenged person. Do the jumble every morning. Put picky-eating children in a box at the bottom of a laundry chute. Tell them they are hungry lions in a cage and feed them raw vegetables down the chute. Help anyone struggling to get their kids into a car or a shopping cart. Allow the homeless to keep warm in your car while you are at Mass. Leave a cold drink for the overheated garage attendant and mail carrier. Mary Mullaney wasn't a famous person. She wasn't wealthy. She didn't found any great institution. No one outside of her family and community probably even knew her. But oh, what a difference she made by embracing the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Paul uses the singular word fruit very specifically. There is one fruit of the Spirit, and that fruit contains the attributes just mentioned. While Paul later talks about the gifts of the Spirit, plural, the fruit of the Spirit is one. The gifts of the Spirit are individual gifts given to specific people. The fruit of the Spirit is one thing given to all Christians. Everyone gets the same fruit. It's like being handed a bowl of fruit with many things in it, yet it is still one bowl. All Christians are to demonstrate this fruit, and no fruit is better than another. Love is not more important than generosity or self-control. All are equal in the role of Christian behavior. Unlike the gifts of the Spirit, which differ from person to person, we cannot say that we're called to the fruit of kindness, but not self-control. Each part of the gift of the fruit implies the other 8 parts, and together they make up the Christ-like character in us. Paul warns that we shouldn't become conceited or competitive or envious because everybody's received the same fruit. He also states quite clearly that because we have been given this glorious fruit, we need to act like it, own it, and live it. One of the reasons that scriptures are living documents is because they continue to speak to us. They illumine our understanding of life and faith. They challenge us to think on deeper levels. They help us to focus on the truth of God's salvation. In Paul's time, as in ours, people tried to add things to God's free gift of salvation in Jesus Christ. In Galatia, they tried to add things like circumcision and dietary laws. They believed people first had to do these things in order to get the gift of salvation. In our time, some churches believe you must make a public pronouncement of faith, or be baptized as an adult, or belong to a specific church to receive communion, or promise not to drink alcohol before you are accepted to the community of the saved. Paul shouts out through the ages, no! Salvation is for everyone. Salvation doesn't come with any strings attached. Salvation is God's gift, and God came to earth in person to make sure that we understood that. We are foolish if we think that we can add anything to the cross. Jesus freed us from rules and regulations to fully be God's children. Salvation is freedom from the world and oppressive religiosity, but not freedom to do whatever we want. We are not free to be self-indulgent. We are not free to be jerks. We are not free to say whatever is on our mind like that is a good character trait. We're not free to hurt others, and we're not free to hurt ourselves. Our freedom is to live out lives of salvation, which means that we can be gentle even when the world is harsh. We can be in control of ourselves even when others model behavior that is out of control. We can be patient even when others are not. We can be generous even though the world wants us to think of our own gain. We can be loving even though vitriol twists in the headlines. We can be faithful even though many people won't even recognize it. We can embrace joy in a complaining society. We can be examples of peace in the midst of tribulation. And we can live this way because God has given us the fruit that strengthens us and gives us the power to live this way. Paul and God's prophets throughout the ages have taught and preached and lived the quest of love to be the guiding principles that lead us. It may not always be easy to exhibit the fruit, but we are called to do it. And together we can, supporting one another. We can make a difference in our lives and in our world and in the whole world. That's what Mary Mulaney did with her life. She simply and straightforwardly lived the fruit of the Spirit. It wasn't about her. It was about God. She found ways to share the fruit, and that's what she did consistently. And that's what people will always remember about her. And that's what people can take up in their own lives. The Apostle Paul wrote, "If we live by the Spirit, let us also be guided by the Spirit." How are people in our lives touched by the fruit of the Spirit in us?